Little Andy back in the shop. Just going to do a little short video here, nothing technical, nothing major. Another pen turning based video, just to add a little bit of detail onto a pen. I'm not going to go through the whole rigmarole of how to make a pen. There's loads of videos on how to do that. I've got one on there. I'm not a pen turner. I do this as a bit of an extra thing. It's just a little tip on how to put an extra bit of detail on when you're making a pen. I'll set you up and get you pointing at the lathe so I can see what's going on down here. Give me 1 second. Right, what I'm doing here is I've done all the shaping of the pen. We're just going to put a little bit of extra detail by burning some lines into this. Few tips. You want to do all of your bulk of your shaping. All of your shaping, get that out the way, get the most of your sanding done so it's nice and smooth finish. You can leave the finer grits, like the uber fine grits for the polishing till after this, but all of your sanding, all of your shaping wants to be done and complete so this is nice and smooth. It just needs the micro pore pad things for the final buffing done, but before we do that, we'll burn the detail on. Again, you want to do this before you put any finishes on. So if you're doing like a friction polish, like a shellac, you want to do before that. You might get away with the shellac, but if you're doing anything else like a super glue, cyan or acrylate, or even just an oil finish, you definitely want to do this before you do that. Otherwise, when you do it, it'll damage the finish. Because obviously it gets quite hot. Plus, you need to sand it back a little bit, so you're just going to take that finish off again. The next tip I would suggest is basically when we put the detail in, we're going to use a wire and hold it onto the wood, and it's going to basically build up friction and burn a little groove into it. If you just want to do a random pattern any way you want, crack on, go for it. But if you want any kind of repeatability or accuracy of where you put them, especially like this one, this is a set of a few pens, so I want them all to match exactly where they are. Your best bet is to set a small groove with a tool of where you want the burn marks, the rings to be in the first place. If you're doing this on like what you'd normally make pens on a manual wood turning lathe, mark it with a pencil, and then use the finest tool you've got. It's probably called a pointy gouge to basically put a little groove in. You don't need to go deep, you just want to touch the surface and put a tiny little groove. It's just somewhere for the wire to locate into to stop it from wandering around. So on here, obviously having a nice metalwork lathe, I've got a DRO so I can put this exactly where I need to go. Let's set the tool in first. I'm just going to eyeball the centre. I know exactly where I want them. I want 2.5mm spacing, so let's set that as 0. Bring that over to 2.5. Depth wise, I'm just doing this by eye, literally just a little groove. That's all we need. Obviously I can't use the DRO on this because, as you can see, I've got well, you can't now because the tool post is in the way. That's a good point, you can't see what I'm doing. Let's see if we can move around here. You see that? What have we got? Focus. Just here. Can you focus on that? Focus. Book. There we go. Where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, can't use DRO for the depth stuff because I've got a slight bulge on the front end. So like I say, just doing it by eye. Just touching on. Just a little groove. Just enough for the wire to locate. There's my first one. That's around 5mm. Evidently, if you're curious, the reason I'm putting 4 grooves in, this is for a 40th birthday present. So just an extra little detail. Right, get him out of the way. And we can come back around here. See what we're doing. Right, as you can see, I've got some where we're off to. Got some rings in here. You can see, just not too deep, just enough for. I'm going to point you down a bit more. Some very professional camera work going on here. There we go. There we go. You can see that. So I've got the 4 little grooves. So any wire will do. Obviously, the thicker the wire, the more force you're going to need, the wider the band's going to be. I recommend something fairly thin. It's about 0.5 mil, 0.6. It's actually titanium wire that I use for anodizing. It doesn't have to be titanium. Steel wire, copper wire, anything that you can put a bit of force on, build with a bit of friction. That's all you need. So we'll get this on. Give it a speed. Obviously, the longer you hold it, the tighter you squeeze it, the bigger the burn mark's going to be. As long as you've got a bit of repeatability, so you can get them all to match. See the smoke coming off, just starting to burn, and then go a little bit deeper, I think. You want to go slightly heavier than what you think you might, because once you do your finishing on it and the extra little bit of sanding, it's going to take that back a little bit from what you think it is. Obviously now I've already set the grooves in. It follows very easily, nice and accurate, exactly where I want it. No wondering about, just by eye, match them to get them all about the same. A little bit heavier on that one, and that one, bring it back again. There we go, we've got 4 grooves, and if we get some fine paper just to finish off there, take it back just to take the extra scorch marks off the top, and then when you've got your finish on that, give it a little bit of a lick, give you an idea. That gives you a nice little bit of extra detail. Once you've got your finish on that, whether it be a shellac or your cyan acrylate, it'll go into the grooves, it'll darken them down a little bit more and they stand out. Obviously the lighter the wood that this is on, the more it'll stand out. This is a snake wood, so it's already quite dark, so it's not in your face, but it's just a nice little bit of extra detail. Obviously put as many grooves on as you want, or as few grooves, or wherever you like, but just a little tip there. Hope you enjoy that. And master of Zoom, as somebody says, and I'll see you again soon. Hope you enjoyed the little tool tip. Once I'm finished, I'll put a couple of pictures of the end, show you what the finished pen looks like. See you all again soon. Bye.